Over in the corner, Barnes. And Thompson kicks to Curry. From deep. Grizzlies with the rebound.
And guys, one thing that we were treated with last year was Steve Kerr's great quotability in post-game interviews and pressers. He said all the right things and deflected praise like a coach who had done it for many years.
Now look at Memphis's starting group. Matt Barnes is out there with Zach Randolph. Then there's Carter. Then there's Anderson. And it's Farmar in at the point guard position. So it's the Grizzlies now. And Kerr is so good with the media because, Greg, he was a media member himself for so long. You know that as well as anybody. Clark, I don't think he ever tried his hand at broadcasting, though. I can't see him doing that, could you?
Yeah, right,
No.
Right. He probably just drawn on as a broadcaster and rarely contribute anything of note. Some guys have what it takes to call games, and Steve just doesn't quite scratch me as that kind of guy.
No. The Warriors shooting their first free throw of the night here.
And last season, 77% from the line. They could usually get the job done there.
And you can't take those numbers lightly, fellas. I mean, their free throw shooting made a difference for them in a lot of their games last season.
And to nobody's surprise, Zach Randolph enjoyed an outstanding season, Clark, in 14-15.
And, you know, ironically, by taking more of a backseat to front court make Marc Gasol, Randolph played better, the best rebound rate of his career.
And for the Grizzlies, they had to be encouraged by Randolph's play after signing him to that extension. I mean, he'd been set back by the knee injury, but he came back in a big way.
Memphis with the ball. Now Farmar. And Steph Curry with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
And Randolph happy to be back in Memphis. He said, this is home. This is where I belong. And look, he's helped establish this team as a power in the Western Conference. And for me, this is the right place for him to be.
And it's Barnes slamming it down.
A surreal alley-oop that time, partner.
The pass, Clark, the catch, the dunk, all of it perfect.
Precision at its finest.
And guys, it had to be, because not nearly as easy a play as they made it look.
Farmar kicks to Carter. Barnes against Barnes. To the left side wing. Here's Farmar. From out on the wing, he knocks it down. The Warriors have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Curry kicks to Green. From past the arc. No up. Now the Grizzlies take it the other way. Now we go to Doris Burke, who spoke with head coach Dave Yig. Doris?
One player that he's talked to his guys a lot about is Stephen Curry. He said Curry's one of the premier shooters in the game, and he's got that quick trigger. We really have to be tight to him, get physical, and try to get him on his heels as much as possible. Guys, Curry is an excellent free throw shooter. We'll see if they can do that without fouling him.
Thanks, Doris. Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Grizzlies will take it.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Clark, looking around the league, there's no team that teams want to play less than the Memphis Grizzlies. They just wear you down.
Well, they play a physical brand of basketball. They play hard. Everybody's on the same page. And even if you beat the Grizzlies, they take a lot out of you in terms of how they try to wear you down.
The Warriors trailing. Got a piece of it. Pass to Barnes from deep three-point range. And again, it's the Warriors missing. The Grizzlies have gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. Here's Farmar, guarded by Curry. There's the pick. Farmar dishes to Carter. And the 3 off target.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Thompson outside. Inside. Here's Bogut. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Here's Farmar, guarded by Kerr. It's Anderson with the drive. Green with the block. And he recovers it. Second shot opportunity. And there's the play by Anderson inside.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him. Boy, Chris Anderson, certainly one of the more colorful players we have in the league. Kind of took over where Dennis Rodman left off. A high-energy forward who can rebound and defend. He's got a tattoo parlor going on, too.
And the Grizzlies with some changes. Green, he's checked in for Anderson. And Stevenson comes in for Barnes. And Allen subbed in for Vince Carter. Here's Farmar, guarded by Kerr. Down low, here's Green, and he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
We've got 1:28 left in the first quarter of the game. Green, the screen. Randolph kicks to Stevenson. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Farmar. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor. And talking about Chris Anderson, he was actually out of the league for a couple years, reinstated back in 2008, and apparently the time off helped. He finished second in the league in blocked shots going back to that season.
And Kevin, the thing I remember most about Chris Anderson, the 2005 NBA Slam Dunk Contest. He unsuccessfully tried the same dunk 8 times. Count them,
yeah.
8.
The defense left him just a little window to get through, and he just ducked in for the layup. Terrific job.
It's stolen by Green. And now the fast break. Stevenson with the ball.
Well, he's got to watch himself now. I mean, that's 2 fouls already, and he can't afford another one.
And Lance Stevenson really couldn't find minutes in Charlotte last season. Ended up sitting out a lot of games as a DNP CD. Not the start he wanted with the new team.
40 seconds left in the first. Outside Curry. He lobs up the alley-oop pass, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Curry.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Spates checked in for the Warriors. Guys, this offense very effective.
Going right at him.
And guys, the defense has been no match. They've just picked them apart.
To the paint. Wants to get it to Barnes and does. Hammers the alley-oop through.
From distance, that was an amazing pass.
That's about as long an alley-oop as you're going to see.
And he put the ball on the money. Of course, when you've got that kind of athletic ability, a little bit more margin for error.
They're shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And their numbers from the line last season, they're good, just not great. About 77% as a team.
You know, Kevin, they would love to post a similar percentage again this season. I mean, I think that's safe to say they'd love to shoot free throws as well as they did a year ago.
Plenty of offense in this closely contested first quarter of play. It's the Grizzlies. And Steph Curry, a player within the gym range. He told us about his cup.
Anywhere 5-6 feet outside that three-point line, if I have a dribble, if I catch and shoot, if I have a good look, and I think Coach will allow me to take that shot. And it's tough to guard, especially when you see a couple go in. That basket gets a lot bigger.
I was going to say, Greg, how big must that hoop look to Steph Curry, and tough to guard might be the understatement of the day.
I mean, he is just an insanely great shooter. I mean, arguably, I don't think there's an argument. He's the best shooter in the world. The argument is whether or not he's the best shooter ever. And listen, I can imagine there's very few times that Coach Curry is not going to allow this Splash brother to let her rip.
Welcome back, everyone. We're ready to get going again as this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports continues. Players are topped off with Gatorade, hydrated, and ready to get going again as well. And for Memphis guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
And it's really about limiting their mistakes. And early on, they've been able to do that here in the first.
And, guys, I like what I've seen from them on the other end, forcing a few giveaways, and that's allowed them to widen that turnover margin.
Barnes and Green are the forward set. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson at the guard spots, and it's Spates in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the group for the Golden State Warriors to start the second quarter.
The solo alley-oop. That's not something we see too often.
Timed it perfectly. You're right, and caught the defense totally off guard.
Hey, guys, how about his coach? Looked like his heart was in his throat there for a second. Now, though, he's able to smile, more of a smile of relief.
Stevenson against Barnes. 6 to shoot. The drive by Allen. Second chance shot. Spates with the block. Oh, he's going up for the alley-oop here. It's stolen by Allen. In the corner, it's Stevenson. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. Well, you knew things would be different for Lance Stevenson out of Indiana, but it wasn't in a positive way at all.
Yeah, he really struggled to find a role with Charlotte, the team he signed with. Remember, he was more of the point forward, had the ball in his hands in Indiana. Not the case with Charlotte, and also rumored to be traded all last season.
It's Curry outside, and the shot is good. Curry's got 8.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Carter outside. It's rebounded by Golden State.
You know, for Stevenson, he saw a regression in almost every part of his game last year. Ended up riding the bench down the stretch.
Banked in off the glass. Stevenson's got 4 points in the quarter. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Grizzlies.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard. Playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover. And for Stevenson, it's really hard to readjust to a new system. I mean, he still has all the tools he had in Indy, so he could be a bounce-back candidate this year and beyond.
It's Allen on the wing, guarded by Curry. Allen's shot is off. Golden State's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Here's Green. Can't tie it up as that one's no good.
Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions there. He is really having a good quarter, a strong quarter, an efficient quarter, doing a lot of positive things out there.
Curry kicks to Green. To the middle. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. That's on Chris Anderson.
And Marreese Spates last season was the best year of his career. I mean, he shot the cover off the ball and did a nice job on the boards as well.
Looking at who's out there now for the Grizzlies. Zach Randolph's checked in for Anderson. JaMychal Green comes in for Lance Stevenson. And it's Farmar in for Carter. Farmar passes to Barnes. They grab their own miss. Randolph. That's in. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
Greg, you were just talking about Mo Spates. Clark, he has a great mid-range jump shot.
He does, and they actually call him Mo Buckets. But he actually played so well last season, they even threw in Mo VP from time to time.
And the Warriors miss again. And the Grizzlies leading by 6. That's good from Barnes on the assist by